Morning, everyone. So today, as you remember, I was supposed to be playing Billy Big Rigger driving dump truck for a buddy of mine, but he doesn't need me today. He found someone else to drive, so that means today's the start of tapping. However, we got 2 inches of snow last night when they said we were going to get a coating to 2. So, well, of course we get 2 inches, so that means now I've got to do the driveway, clean up around the sugar house a little bit, and then I can go, well, I've got to get ready to go tapping. I didn't get anything out yet. The drill's not ready. I don't have taps out of the sugar house, so, but today's the start of tapping. But first, clean the driveway. There, cleaned up from Winter Storm Belinda or Thelma or whatever they call winter storms these days. I guess they're all like hurricanes when they're really bad. I'm not quite sure when they started naming winter storms, but this one was a real doozy. A couple inches, it's cleaned up. Now, I get some taps, a drill bit. I've got to get my drill set up still because I have not done that yet. Some lights, and then I'll have everything I need to go over tapping. Now, I am bringing both my tapping hammers, the new one, this is one of the new leader hammers, as well as my old trusty one that I've had, well, I think I started using this when I first started making syrup, but I want to try this new one. I think this one's going to work pretty good, but I'm going to bring this one just in case I don't like this one. Now, taps. And a new drill bit. Every season I start with a new drill bit. The old ones, they'll have bacteria on them, that type of thing that you can't get out. So if you start a new one, you end up with minimal bacteria on your tapples. So that's what we're trying to prevent, trying to make the season go as long as we can. So a new one, but always have a spare because these things do break from time to time. I think that's it. My tube and tools inside to put taps on, drills inside. Yep, that's it. So getting my drill ready, what I do is there's little marks on it so the drill bit can't spin inside the chuck. Oh, can you see that? Kind of. So I line those up perfectly, but I put them all the way down to where the chuck hits on those points. That way I've got a consistent depth. That way, so if I take it out, if I need the drill for something else, I can always go back. Then I take a piece of pipe, again, brand new tubing. I just use a piece of 30p and I put it on. And it goes all the way down. Maybe we need some heat. There, so that's all the way down. And what I do is I trim it off. But now, I want to get that to a consistent 1.5 inches. So, take, and from the tip of the drill bit, I go down 1.5 inches. Where are we here? An 1.5 inches, right there. There. So now I've got 1.5 inches depth set all the time. It just uses a tube and it'll wear down a little bit, but not bad. So there, drill bit's ready. I sling my drill over my shoulder. So I've got a piece of webbing with it's just a key ring on it, and I loop it through the little hook, and then it just hangs. But there's a way to do this and it lays better on my side than the other way. Other way it's twisted. No, I don't know, just it bugs me. So let's see if did I get it first try. What I do is I put the knot in the middle of my back. I think I got it. My new snowshoes have an adjustment on the bindings to move it to where the bindings go a little bit more forward and get my toe further up, which is all well and good if it's right. But I couldn't adjust it when I was in the woods because there's this little linchpin and I couldn't get the thing out and I didn't want to lose it. So now I can do it. Hold on. Hello. That was about delivering a new evaporator next week. This is adjusted. I was able to talk and do this at the same time, but after I put the needleless pliers away, I am going to bring them with me just because if I get it on there and I don't like it, I need to be able to move it back. And without those pliers, I can't. But yeah, let's go tapping. Now, it never fails the first day of tapping that I forget something. It's like it happens every damn time. So hopefully I didn't. I think I've got everything, but I'll probably have to make a trip back just in case. But at least I remembered the four-legged boss. He's ready to tap. You excited? He says he's excited. I'm glad you could join us. Would you find something good down there? He wasn't a big fan of coming all the way up to the top in the snow. There's a couple of feet of snow in here, and he was struggling with it, so he was lagging behind. But I can't remember which way that I go when I tap, because I do have a system, but I don't remember which way it goes. So luckily I recorded it on YouTube, so I'll just watch one of my videos and figure out which way I went. So we'll see. I went counterclockwise last year, so this year I go clockwise. Look, the things you can learn on YouTube. There, first tap, it's in. Now it starts for the season. It was nice. Now all of a sudden it's blizzarding in here. I didn't even know we were supposed to get snow showers today, but I guess I was more worried about the cold than I was we were gonna get snow today. So, well, more snow. I was complaining we didn't have any and we needed some in the woods, and now we're getting it. We'll take it when we get it. So when I come up to a tree, it's getting bright now, it's not blizzarding anymore. When I come up to a tree, I'm looking for the old tap holes. So there's one there, I think that's one down there, over here, and one here. So then I take my drop line and I kind of look and see. Now this year, where we've got a couple feet of snow, I could tap higher, especially with the snowshoes on. I can stay above it. So I'm gonna go up there this year because the old ones are down here and over, oh, right here. So I'll go up there. And then put the spout on, but I don't think I can hold the camera on. Let's see if I can do this all at once. I don't think so. So I gotta put it in my tubing tool. Like that. And then move this, reach into my bag, get a spout. Unclip it. It goes up there. And then now you heard that sound change. It was like tap, 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 thud. That's when you know your tap is seated all the way, is when there's a sound change. You don't have to hit it anymore, and they're just light taps. You're more just letting the hammer do the work, not really trying to drive this thing in and blow it out the other side of the tree. So I don't know, I'm making good progress. I'm probably halfway up this first side of this main line. Well, keep going. I'm not quite sure how I managed this, but all these drop lines got replaced with the orange ones, except for these two that somehow I totally missed those two, but I brought extra drops with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'll finish tapping and then I'll come back up because I can bring the four-wheeler all the way back up to right here, which then I don't have to walk all the way down there to get my two-handed tool and the drops to walk back up to take the two-handed tool back down there. So I'll finish tapping, then I'll get this, but I'm definitely not putting new taps on those because they should have been replaced. I just finished doing the one side of this. It was probably 120 taps or so. And then now I just got to go down this back side of it, but what a day for tapping now. It's not blizzarding. The sun's out, it's shining, it's sunglass weather, and it's not freezing cold. I can do this in a sweatshirt with a vest. It's not terrible out. Hey, what do you think? He doesn't care as long as he's in the woods, and well, he can do whatever he wants here. This line is one that it's a ways down to the main, but what it is, it snakes up through. There's not a lot of taps, and then they're all at the end of it. But there's two really good trees over there that probably put out like 4.5% sugar because they've got good tops to them. They're all branches, but it's hard to get to them because I got to go across a path that the landowner uses and he keeps mowed. So what I do is I peel this back for the summer, and then I put it back out for the winter time. So now I got to do that, but it takes a minute. Not crazy hard to do. It's just, well, with snowshoes it's a pain, and then sneaking through these branches. But I gotta tap these two, and I can almost guarantee these two trees are running because they're in full sun, so they're getting that warmth from the sun too. Yep, every time. I've got a very healthy lunch today because I was behind the 8 ball this morning, and well, I didn't take the time. So Doritos, Pringles, Ritz crackers, Nutty Bars, Gatorade, and water. This is like a sugar maker's dream right here for a lunch. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Well, hopefully the kids don't find out I took all their snacks for lunches. He's got to eat too. All I got to do to have this one be done is I just got to count taps that I have left. So what I do is every time when I finish up a main line, I count how many taps I put in. So I know that I put in 2 full bags and a partial bag, so 200 plus, so count those, but there's gonna be less than there was last year because I added the next main up, which I'm gonna tap that one next, but just this way I kind of know what taps are where. A5 has got 256 taps, which is down from about, well, 294 on this run last year, but where I put that main in, that took away a bunch. I only had 2 taps, I think, maybe 3 where I hit bad wood, so really not too bad, but it's easier. Do it as you go. Now I'll go down, I'll tap A4. Now, new this year, I've started putting some red tape on drop lines where it's right there, you can see. By putting that red tape on there, this is a hole that I drilled. Now I gotta remember where I drilled it. Right over here. That I didn't hit good clean white wood on it, so I hit some brown stained wood. Now if I look, this tree is poor quality. It's got a big fissure that runs up the side of it, and I was kind of hunting around to find good tap wood. I mean, over here it's split, so this tree is probably on its way out, and it's tight in here. There's not a lot of room anyways, but now I know next year if I come in with red tape, that means that it's probably not a good tree if I hit brown wood again. And at that point, cut that drop out, because what am I really doing wasting my time with it? Running the plug tees, it has the stub that sticks out. I just plug that drop line into it. It'll seal it off for the season. Every now and then they pop off, but not really a lot. But that red tape is for next year. I'll know that if I hit brown wood, this tree is probably junk. So just a little way that I'm doing to try and, you know, be ahead of the game for next year, rather than doing the same thing over and just keep drilling a hole that isn't any good. But this isn't going too bad. Snowshoes they slow you down a little bit, but it's not too bad in here today. It's fairly warm. It's like 28 degrees, so you can't really ask for much better than this right now. Well, that's 3 main lines that are done, which is what I wanted to get done today. So I just got to count it up. I think this last one was somewhere around 110 taps or so, but that gets me right where I want to be for the day. Now I've just got to go down. I got to shovel off 2 main lines. So I've got 2 spots where the main line's only 1.5 foot to 18 inches off the ground, something like that. So I got to shovel them off, but the sap's not going to run anytime soon, but if I get it done now, I don't have to do it later. So here goes. I don't even like shoveling snow at home, but now I have to do it. I have to shovel snow in the woods of all places. There's one done. Boy, I'm glad I had snowshoes, because this would have sucked all day walking through this much snow. I'm on day 2 of tapping now, and it's like 1:45, I think, 12:30, something like that. And I'm just getting out here because I had to do all that stuff this morning, getting that evaporator moved. But I pulled a real genius one today. Well, pulled it the other day. I didn't put the battery for the drill in the charger. So now I've only got one good one, which is my spare. It's still a good battery, but it's the spare. So hopefully I can get through what I'm going to try and do. My goal is 200 taps, say maybe 250. So I should be able to do it with just the one battery, but definitely not a smooth move. I'm down here at the C system now, and I haven't tapped this yet, but we've got to shut these valves, and the reason being is that the whole A system is tapped, and the A system has the wet dry that goes all the way up to the top, but the dry system also catches this C system. So up there you've got, coming down, it's the dry line and the A wet line, And then it goes in, there's a manifold up there that has a wet line for just this C system. And then the dry line hooks into it. So I've got to shut these valves here for the C system because Sunday morning it's supposed to warm up. So the plan is I'm going to stop on my way home from work, turn the heater on in there for the vacuum pump because that thing doesn't like to start when it's real cold. Turn that on, then sometime in the morning when I come back to tap, I'm going to be turning the vacuum pump on and checking for leaks. But I've got to make sure this system's off, otherwise it's just a waste. But I got to close one more valve. This is just the drain that I leave open for the summer so that all the crud drains out that comes into it. But after having snowshoes on all afternoon, it's way easier in snowshoes than it is trying to hoof it through this stuff. So my Gatorade at the end of the day is full of slush. So I'm wondering, how cold out is it in the woods? Well, this is all up in my neck here. My truck says 24, but let's see what it is in the woods. So I go and I pull up my Satisfy app. Now, because the monitors are in, we just don't have vacuum on yet. So, where are we? At the releaser, 24.7 degrees. In the middle, 25.7. 24.8, a little bit further up. And all the way up at the top where it's, there's probably still a little bit of sun up there, 29.5. So right there, I can tell what's going on in my woods just from my phone. Now, I know you guys are thinking you're gonna get husband of the year. Well, I beat you to it today. I cleaned the wife's car off before she went to work because I'm gonna win that title.